Hey, what's going on, everyone? Axel here. So in this video, I'm going to kind of explain and talk about some more details about the new big melee HP buff stance that they're putting into the game, Epic Defensive Fighting, and also share a few things I found out from testing it on the preview server, and also share a few things that have changed since my last video. And I'm going to show you also just how all this works and what the range is like and all that. The range in terms of the ranged reduction in range when it comes to casting stuff. So first of all, if you all aren't aware, if you didn't see my last video, or if you just haven't been paying attention to DDO news as of late, the developers are putting into the game a new feat called Epic Defensive Fighting that gives a big competence bonus to HP to your character, but in exchange it drastically handicaps your ranged and offensive casting and offensive party healing abilities and buffing abilities. So it's basically a buff meant for melee HP, and it's not supposed to be used by ranged or casters and things. So that's the gist of it. One big update, first thing I have to say, is they made a big change based on feedback. Initially, it was going to be a maximum of 50% competence bonus boost to HP, and that's changed now. Now it's up. It's been cut in half, basically. Now it's down to 25%. So this went from a huge, immensely ridiculous buff down to still a huge buff, but not as extreme as it was. So now it's going to be 25% maximum with and you get up to that 25%, basically a base 5% competence boost and another 5% for every one of a number of qualifying fighting feats you have, up to 25% maximum. So that's the big change. So first of all, and this is a good character, my main character here that you're seeing is a good one to test it on, because he has both he has the maximum number of fighting feats you can have to get the maximum bonus, and he also has paladin defensive stance, so I can kind of show how this relates. First thing to share with you is there is a cooldown. Now again, all this is preview server, so this could all change, but it's probably a pretty good chance it goes into the game like this, although there is one bug in particular. So as you can see, the feat, if you can see this right here, I'm dragging it, it's like a purple defensive looking feat. You have to, in order to put it on your character, you have to go to the enhancements tab on your character sheet, and you've got, the feats tab on your character sheet. You have to go to epic feats. It's under epic feats, and then you find it right here under epic feats. So you got to get that, drag it to your one of your hotbars, and you just activate it by clicking on it, obviously. Now you'll see a bug immediately is when you click on it, it puts everything on cooldown. Like you can see right now on my hotbar, it put everything on cooldown when I clicked on it, and you can see the HP buff, but that's a bug. They already said that's a bug, so it's not going to put everything on cooldown like that when it goes live. But as you can see, when I activated it, you can see the HP boost there. And there is another bug, apparently. This is not supposed to stack with your Paladin Sacred Defender stance, but it is right now. That's one of the first things I noticed. So so as you can tell here, I'm going to deactivate my Sacred Defender stance, so you can see that my HP goes down, but it shouldn't go down, because the Sacred Defender stance gives me a plus 20% boost to competence boost to HP, and the Epic Defensive Fighting gives me a plus 25% competence bonus. So they shouldn't be stacking like this. So that'll be changed, and they did say they're going to change the Paladin defensive stance from a sacred bonus to a competence bonus. So that's one thing. The other thing you'll notice is that, let me activate this again. I'm going to click on it and activate it, and you can see that there's actually a 3-second. It's about 3 seconds activation time, and while this is activating, it puts your character on. During this 3 seconds, it takes 3 seconds for you to get the HP bonus, but it also freezes your character. So here, I'm going to activate it. As you can see, it won't let me. It won't activate it if I run. So you have to basically stand in place for 3 seconds. Let's see. I need to wait for this stuff to go off cooldown. But I'll show you next the kind of the casting range. So I've got a Nimbus of Light, just basic spell I'll cast here in a second. So right now, I can, normally I can cast this spell has a huge range. I can be all the way out here casting it. Whoops. So obviously this is a huge range spell, and I'm going to show you what it does when you activate the stance. So I'm going to activate the stance now. Again, you have to stand still for 3 seconds, and that cooldown, again, I didn't really mention this, but that cooldown or I don't know if you call it a cool down, because it's more like an activation time, so a cool up, if you will. But basically that means that it's not going to be practical to switch this toggle on and off during encounters. You're basically going to have to decide to have it on or off during an encounter, unless you want to stand still for 3 seconds. But the way DDo's encounters work, with them being hack and slash, it's like not actually exactly practical to have the thing toggled on and off, from what I can tell. But anyways, so the defensive stance is on now. So here is me trying to cast Nimbus of Light on this kobold here, and it just doesn't do anything. So the one thing I noticed is that it does eat your spell points still. I don't know if that's a bug or what, but as I'll show you in a second, when I try to use a healing spell out of range, it just gives me this character is out of range bug. Or not bug, but it gives me this character is out of range notification instead of eating up my spell points. So I'm out of range here, and it's eating up my spell points. And the range, while the defensive feat is active, you don't have to be like right in their face like this. You have a little bit of range. The range you have that they call touch range is about the same as Radiant Servant's Aura's range, from what I can tell. So see, I'm standing a little bit away from the kobold, and I'm still able to hit him with the offensive spell with the stance active. And this is about where it stops. So right here, actually I can still hit him. So right here, I can no longer hit the kobold with Nimbus of Light. But if I take a few steps forward, well, maybe. I think the server's lagging, because I should be able to hit him. Yeah, the server's just lagging. Okay, I can hit him at this range, but I cannot hit him at this range. So it's about the same as Radiant Servant Aura. One thing I did test is that Radiant Servant Aura and Burst don't appear to be affected. Let me run out here, and I'm going to show you the healing range. So let me pick just some random person. So I'm going to try to hit them with the heal spell, and it just gives me this they're out of range notification, like failed action notification. So I'm just clicking my heal spell right now. That's what it does. So I still can't hit them with heal at this range or this range or this range. Now I can hit them. So it's about the same range as offensive casting and heals appear to have the same range. Now if I try to throw a buff on him like Death Ward or something, I can hit him with it from this range, but if I try to hit him from this range, it'll give me the out of range notification. So it appears to be the same range as everything, for everything. So it's about the same as Radiant Servant Aura range, and this guy's trying to hit me with a pumpkin bomb. What else do I want to show you guys? I think that's it. I think that's everything I wanted to show you. So yeah, bottom line is the nerf range for casting and buffing is about the same as Radiant Servant Aura range. There appears to be a 3-second startup where you have to stay in one place on your character, so that's going to prevent switching on and off during encounters. And then they have the HP bonus, like I said, and I think that's about it. Yeah, so that's about all the new info I have to share. So it tells us a few things that it's going to be. I was hoping there'd be no cooldown on it and no activation time, because that would make it much more practical to switch on and off. But now with the way it works, is that's not really going to be the case. Also, because they reduced the HP bonus from 50% to 25%, for those of you who do use a stance like Sacred Defender stance, it's giving you a 20% bonus. It's you know, it's really not going to be worth, if you have Sacred Defender stance, I don't think it's going to be worth bothering with toggling the thing on and off if you happen to run a build that uses a stance that also likes to do some casting or healing or buffing. It's only an extra 5%, and while 5% is nice, it's I don't know if it's going to be worth the while to deal with the headache to constantly turn the thing on and off, or if it's going to be all that practical. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope this kind of helped explain things a little bit for you. And this thing I assume will be hitting the live servers on a patch very, very soon. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.